Namaste. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Indian Chamber of Commerce (ICC) has been founded in 1925 in Kolkata. Having head office in Kolkata, ICC has several offices across India in all the major cities. ICC, as one of the premier business chamber of India, caters to the issue of all the industries and sector as well as the policy advocacy. ICC has been associated with Ministry of Ayush, Government of India since long. ICC has organized the highest number of Arogya Fair, both national and state levels. In eastern and northeastern states of India, along with Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, ICC is the only business chamber who organized the first ever BIMSTEC Ayush Expo in Dhaka, Bangladesh in last February 2020. Now we are welcoming our distinguished panelists. Myself, Vaidya Vijay Pratap Kushwaha. I'm a practicing Ayurvedic physician that is and I run a brand Private Limited, and we have our own product range and we have chain clinics. Sir, welcome. We are very happy and happy that Dr. Dhiman sir has joined us. He is our special guest for today. Sir is Director General, Central Council for Ayurvedic Research and Ayurvedic Studies, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. And then we have Vaidya Jayant Dev Pujari, Chairman, CCIM, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. We have Dr. Sonali Mukherjee. She is Senior Ayurvedic Medical Officer, Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of West Bengal. Then we have in our panel Dr. Raju Thomas, President, Ayurvedic Medical Association of India. And we have a foreign guest, Peter van Stralen. He's an Ayurvedic consultant from Netherlands. Friends, as we know, we are gathered today to discuss about immunity boosting through Ayurveda, and this is in context in contrast with the present pandemic going on, that is COVID-19. So to start with, I'll request Professor Dhiman sir. Sir, I would like that you should focus and we share your experience and knowledge about the latest scenario of COVID-19 in India and the Ayurvedic research activities going on in relation with COVID-19. Because you are the best person being heading the Ayurvedic research and leading that. So yeah, please enlighten us. Suman, sir is not audible.
Okay.
I have unmuted him. Please carry on, sir.
Am I audible? Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Country is facing a challenge, health challenge at present, and a version has been given. There is no medicine for corona. There is no medicine for corona. No vaccine is there for corona. But friends, the potential of this country has not been explored, and this version has been given. There is a management for all diseases. It is not important to give a name to any disease. This is 5,000 years back told that it is not important to give a name, particular name to any disease, but looking into the presentation of any new emerging disease, you can decide very well its pathophysiology as per Ayurvedic fundamental principles, and accordingly you can chalk out its line of treatment and you can intervene for the management. So that process has not been exhausted, and till date, I tell you very frankly, barring very few examples, in this country's health scenario, a fair chance being given to Ayush systems of medicine, and particularly the living legend system of medicine since last 5,000 years, Ayurveda, a fair chance has not been given, as Chinese medicine gave to the traditional Chinese medicine in the very beginning of the outbreak in the Wuhan city. If that would have been the scenario, so by this time from Ayurveda and all other Ayush systems, there would have been a number of publications by this time. But till date, but ministry fought it like on war footing, and now a national consensus has come up, and structured clinical trials are going to be started in the corona patients. So far as the immunity boosting through Ayurveda is concerned, I just want to remind all of you, if you see culturally, the lifestyle of Indian society, right from arising early in the morning up to the sleeping in the night, the whole process of these activities revolves around the health. Health, and nothing else than health. Secondly, the cultural setup of our living. Now, the world accepted Namaste. This was a very good example of this social distancing, but it has to be accepted. Washing hands, now everyone has to be told, but Shuchita or Shauchkaram, whatever is not available in our literature, whatever is not in our culture, this Ayurveda system of medicine had become a social medical science. And whatever is there in the literature, that was prevalent in the society as a practice. Secondly, if you see, people are now analyzing, critically analyzing why the country had a very less number of patients and a very less number of deaths in comparison to other. This is the cultural heritage of our society, that the mainly vegetarianism, use of spices in the food, and more of the use of plant materials in our food. Thirdly, the seasonal variation in the country. 6-season variation gives a natural boost of this adaptation. Every 2 months, our body has to adapt. This change in the metabolism according to the season, this gives rise to a very good impetus, stimulus to our all metabolism, including immunity. So all these natural climate and geographical position and the seasonal variations are inherently good for our immunity boosting. So far as the intervention for immunity. So I think this is a secondary issue. What should we intervene? What medicine we should take? First of all, I again re-emphasize, we have to again come to our natural way of living in India. Our normal lifestyle of early rising, body massage, bath, using oil in the nostrils, oil pulling, applying oil on our umbilicus, and but not else. So all these activities of our day routine has to be emphasized to the society, and the society has understood. Society has understood. Now, if you go to the anywhere in the learned society, educated society, everyone is talking about immunity, immunity, immunity. Now immunity can be achieved by our healthy lifestyle, by our healthy diet. Friends, this dietic variation in our country according to season was a very, very great impetus upon our immunity. So different ions or different minerals and different materials we were consuming that were nourishing our body and promoting our health. So the immunity should not only be given to the medicine. No. Lifestyle, diet, and third part is a medicine. And for enhancing immunity, the major chunk of medicines which improve immunity, they are grouped under a caption of Rasayan Chikitsa. And Rasayan, in toto, I may tell you, Rasayan does not mean to any tablet or capsule or any medicine. Rasayan is a sum total of our living and diet, as well as what we are consuming and how we are consuming. So far as the Rasayan medicines like Chyawanprash is very commonly known to our public, but there are many other single medicines. Chyawanprash contains 48 to 52 ingredients, but now this Tinospora cardifolia, Guduchi, has come to everyone's mind. The export of ashwagandha has gone more than 20% in the recent time. The availability of Guduchi Ganpati in the market is very scarce. So demand has increased. So these medicines, how to be taken? It is not that everyone will pick up from the market and it will use. If you use it, everyone should take a suggestion from his Vaidya. So the family physician concept should come up. A family physician must know the if your GIT is not okay. I am giving one example. If your GIT is not okay and you are consuming a lot of Rasayan, even if it is containing gold, it is not of use, any use. It is totally useless. So the consultation of a Vaidya is must. He will suggest you Chyawanprash is very good for someone, Guduchi Ganpati is very good for another, and Ashwagandha can be very good for a third person. So this individualized medicine has to be practiced, and that can only happen under the strict and wise advice of a Vaidya. So that I want to give the message. But Rasayan and immunity boosting medicines are not everything. It is a sum total. It's a sum total how you eat, when you eat, what you eat. That is, and how you live and how you have your work profile. One thing very important, I want to give a message through your this video conference webinar. This lifestyle of corporate sector, which has created a new lifestyle, government has to be made vigilant, and there should be a social bias. Dr. Dev Pujari is there, our senior is there. A message should go that corporate sector should also devise a very strict norms of their work culture. It's not that one worker they have hired, it's a slave. They are taking job like the slavery. They go in the morning, but it is not decided when they will come back. What about their social setup? What about their family? What about their living? When they will eat? And they are eating while working, and they don't know what they have eaten. So this is also very important. We cannot expect a very healthy generation, and this is the young generation, health generation of the country who is engaged in the corporate sector. The payment can be less. That should be compromised, but the working hours should be decided, and after those working hours, he should have his life. If he survives healthy for a longer time, he is an asset for the country for a longer time. Otherwise, it will not work. So in nutshell, I again convey the immunity boosting or immunity enhancement is not only by one thing. It is the comprehensive approach It is the sum total approach towards the life that will increase the immunity, not the only single medicine or molecule. Thank you very much for inviting me and giving chance to share my views. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sparing your precious time and sharing your experience and motivating. And I think, sir, this situation has, it's a very challenging time for the whole world, for ourselves also. But I think it is the same situation, how Ayurveda, Pradurbhava of Ayurveda has happened. The diseases were there, and then to protect people or the humankind from disease, Ayurveda was remembered by Brahma, and then it has come to the earth. So I think with COVID-19, and sir, I'm very hopeful that whatever efforts are going on our Ayurvedic research front, it will be the blessing and gift to the whole humankind. And sir, even I agree with you, because I have followed the Chinese protocol very closely, and from very beginning, they have given their Chinese traditional medicine, which consists more than 90% of Ayurvedic herbs, and they have published also. It is being already there in the public domain, along with their modern allopathic and vitamins and other things. They gave those herbal things to all the patients, and that was the reason of their fast recovery. We had faced. In fact, you are the face, and you are heading the whole activity, so you're experiencing it. But I think we are through, and very soon the results will be out, and that will be gift to the humankind. So again, I thank you very much. And as you said, like about the corporate life, let it be corporates or even the youngsters and the new generation. As we said, for good health, ahar, nidra, and brahmacharya. Until and unless the combination is not there, so by trying immunity boosting efforts or anything else, nothing is going to happen, because Ayurveda is a holistic science and everything goes hand in hand. So thank you very much, and I invite Vaidya Devpujari sir to enlighten us, and I've requested sir to focus more on Ayush initiatives and guidelines for immunity boosting for all ages. Dr. Devpujari sir, please.
Thank you, Vijayji. And Professor Dhiman sir, he has opened the discussion with a very nice tone. And actually, he is also a part of whatever guidelines are issued by Ayush and the other activities initiated by Ayush for COVID-19. And actually, in my opinion, he is the proper person who can explain the thing. But yes, as you suggested me to do this, the guidelines for common people, which became very popular because our Honorable Prime Minister tweeted that those guidelines in his Twitter, and that has been appeared in ICMR guidelines also, and at many places it has reached to crores of people. So it is basically divided into three parts, and they are very simple to an Indian person, because most of the things which are used in those guidelines are with us. Like everywhere in the world, the immunity boosting measures are related to drugs. But as Vaidya Dhiman sir rightly said, that it is a comprehensive package. It is not a one thing. So that's why this insisting on application of oil to nose, that is nasya, and the gargles of oils, these are very important things. There were some objections on it, but as there is no evidence that they are not useful, then why should we deny it, or why should we not allow it to get incorporated in those measures? So with Ayurvedic principles, these are very right things. What all expected are. Other important thing by Ayush, which has been given for the common people, is the word used is golden milk. That is haldi and doodh, turmeric with milk. And that is again a very common thing, which is available everywhere. Many people, they are using it, and there is nothing new in that. So, but still, when it comes to authorized guideline, then it reaches to masses, and it is just a reminder for the masses that yes, we can use this as a preventive, we can use this as a first line for even a small cough and cold and so on. Another very common thing which is available with us is clove, and clove powder mixed with natural sugar or honey. It can be taken 2-3 times a day in case of simple throat and irritation, because there is a fever. If somebody in the house starts coughing, then everybody becomes serious, and that person, if he goes to a public place, or he is going to, then all the people in contact with him becomes suspicious about these things. So to avoid this, these very simple things we have suggested. One herbal tea decoction, kada, vat, made from tulsi, dalchini, munakka, and once or twice a day is enough. That is what is suggested. And as we know, basically, the important thing in the Jwara condition is Amapachan. So this Amapachan is done by this Kashaya very well. And this is again a very simple remedy for this COVID. Another many guidelines are issued by the Ministry of Ayush, like CCM issued telemedicine guidelines for practitioners. So nowadays, this social distancing becomes very important, and we know that when social distancing is followed properly, then the spread also stopped in our country when we compare to the other countries. So or other countries. So how to do telemedicine practice? That those guidelines have already been issued to avoid the legal problems to the practitioners. Not only Ayush Ministry, even the other ministries, they have that Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment and Department of Geriatric Medicine AIMS, they combine together, they have issued guidelines or advisory for senior citizens during COVID-19. And those are very interesting because the total population in our country is very high. And particularly, they have given the advisory for senior citizens on mental well-being. That do's and don'ts they have given, that don't isolate yourself, don't get confined in one room, and don't follow any sensational news or social media posts, and communicate with your relatives not within your home, plus please try to call to your friends, your other relatives who are staying somewhere in our country, because nowadays telephone talk is very cheap and very easy for everybody. And so many such initiatives are taken by the other ministries also. And nowadays there is a very big initiative, Sanjeevani app, you must have heard. And the Ayush Ministry is working very hard on it, and to reach nearly 50 lakh people, to get the information from them that what happened to them when they opted for these Ayush guidelines for prevention of the disease. When it comes to the lifestyle, as Divan sir rightly said, that the important thing is we have also to decide our priorities, whether we have to run after the money or not, because this change in lifestyle happened with the rat race. That is actually the fact. And as the society has started running after that, then there was a drastic change in the lifestyle. Another important thing which I always quote is the invention of this light, invention of electricity. After invention of electricity or light, our working hours increased by 4 hours, meaning because in olden days, as soon as that Surya or sunset used to be there, then after that the activities normally lowered because of the dark. But now because of the light, those activities continues, means normal person's activities continues till 11 o'clock. So this from 6 to 11 or 7 to 11, nearly 4 or 5 hours, you can say. This increase in our working time is another problem because it delays our getting up in the morning. So we have to rethink about the use of light, our exposure of light. So many things are there. So we have to look to our lifestyle, which again with a fresh look and adapt as per our cultural heritage about what we got from our ancestors. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to put my views. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your beautiful knowledge. As sir discussed about Ayush initiatives, so friends, like we all are used to having a tea, and there is a masala tea, like in Gujarat and in Mumbai, Maharashtra, especially in Gujarat, it was already in tradition, and many parts of India. So we cannot, most of us, we are got addicted to tea. So, and getting out of it is very difficult. But it's very easy that, you just get this powder ready, this Amrit Peya, the combination of Kali Mirch, Dalchini, Shont, Tulsi, and Munakka. And even if you cannot leave tea, you just with tea leaves, you can add this and make tea morning, evening. So, that continues and that gives you a lot of good health. In last 2 days, there is a lot of knowledge sharing about OREC value of our spices. So the problem is, when something comes in a modified in English something or in a modern term, then we all of a sudden it strikes that whatever our elders, our rishis, our ancient knowledge had Vedic knowledge has said, it was really scientific. So now, we all know that all our spices have got great OREC values. So, as in the last speech, our Prime Minister has said that, we have to, we have to be confident. We have to be, first we have to, I'm just talking as a part of Ayurvedic fraternity, we have to bring our dignity back. We have to believe in ourselves. We will be the one, who has to have a pride on our science, and we have to communicate, or we have to answer back the community which call Ayurveda as a pseudoscience. So in this pandemic, we have got a beautiful opportunity to prove the whole world that Ayurveda is a proven science. And I'm very hopeful, as I said with Dhiman sir also, that whatever clinical trials are going on, preventive, we all know that it is almost, we can say that preventive aspect, 100% our Ayurvedic things are working. And even with COVID positive patients, I'm confident that our things will work out and the world will get a gift from Ayurveda from India. Yeah, so Devpujari sir, thank you very much. You are the senior person and you are we all are Ayurvedic practitioners, and you are heading the council. So we have to motivate our young Ayurvedic graduates, Ayurvedic doctors. We have to give them confidence that even with Ayurveda practice, they can survive, they can make money, and they can achieve their goals. And I started my practice in '91, and I work in so many countries, and I'm confident about future of Ayurveda. So with these words, I will like to invite Dr. Sonali Mukherjee. Sonali is going to talk about the herbs which are helpful for immunity building, boosting and building. And during my discussion with her, she said that she's going to talk about pranayama and few yogasanas. So Sonali, it is your turn. Okay, so you are Nari Shakti from our panel. Okay, so you should have more energy, and you should talk something. Your message should there has to be some specific message from your side to all the Nari Shakti is watching our webinar. Yeah, please join us. Suman, there is some I think audio problem. She is not audible. Suman.
Sonali, please unmute.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you are audible. Go on. Welcome.
A very good evening to all the wonderful speakers. I'm really overwhelmed to hear the lecture of the Fudaji sir, of Dr. Dhiman sir, that they have energized us and said and showed a path where we can actually make a wonderful sense of how treatment can be done in COVID-19. So I would like to share a slide. Herbs and immunity, a health revival. Next. Well, I'm unable to move the slide.
Yeah, take your time, Sonali. Yeah, be comfortable. Take your time. Yeah, you are going good. Yeah, okay.
To a brief introduction, I would say about myself. I have done my MD in Ayurveda. I have done my counseling and psychotherapy course as well, and I'm a certified yoga practitioner. And right now, I'm a senior Ayurvedic medical officer in Government of West Bengal. A small introduction I would like to give. Ayurveda, through its scientific treatment protocols, has supported since ages. Since our grandmothers, they have presented us the wonderful treatment of oil massage, of wonderful treatment of giving us kadhas. When we had simple cough and cold, they have given us all the wonderful treatments that we have always neglected and thought maybe the new scientific interventions are more appropriate. But now when it's a time of importance of these things, now we are understanding how importantly we have neglected those things of those days. Epidemics and pandemics have always remained the integral part of human life. It's not since now we have encountered influenza, we have encountered Ebola, all these things have always remained, and probably it will live with us in the next future. Charak Samhita and Bhiman Sthan has described Janapadangsa or epidemiology. So the important thing that we need to know is, are viruses harmful or helpful? Like, there are a lot of times that we have always discussed about the harmful effects of virus, but very unique quality of a virus is it plays two roles. They can be living or they can be non-living. If they're outside the body, they are non-living and they will not harm us at all. And if they come inside any human body or any living body, they will start to replicate. So this is how their two-phase process helps in global biochemical cycles. So what I have said, this deadly virus has also some harmful effects, like influenza, Ebola, Zika, and Nipah virus has always remained with us before. The current scenario of this grave viral outbreak of COVID-19, in every country, they are fighting with finest swords. So the healthcare system is developing and they are flattening the curve. I would like to say a few words about what is immunity. Like, there are a lot of words we always hear: immunity booster, these medicines are increasing the immunity, these medicines are having some superfoods which are helping to increase the metabolism power. So a brief 1 to 2 lines about what is immunity. We all know about a circulatory system. It's a very interesting system that a heart pumps the oxygenated blood. It goes inside our tissues and cells, and they carry the nitrogen, they carry the carbon dioxide from it, and again that blood goes into our heart and it gets purified through our lungs. This is what we all know. But there lies another system in our body which is similar to cardiovascular system or circulatory system. The little undermined system is lymphatic system. So there are a lot of roles of lymphatic system, but the most important role that I would like to say is they act as policemen. How? This policemen, what they are doing in COVID-19 is they are traveling to all the roads and seeing whether there are some kind of infected patients or not. So this is the simple role of lymphatic system as well. There, the policeman over here is lymph, which is a clear watery fluid that travels through our whole body and to see if there are any kind of foreign invaders. If there are any kind of foreign invaders, they immediately inform to the police station. So what is the police station? Police station are the lymph nodes. The lymph nodes are present in our body, and what do? They give guns to the lymph. So what are the guns here? With a combination of thymus and spleen, they produce T cells and B cells. These cells are the guns they give to the lymph, and with these guns, they reach all over our body, and wherever a foreign invader like virus, bacteria is present, they kill them. So this is the interesting part of lymphatic system, and where the lymphatic system is strong, we have a strong immunity. Lymph as policeman, the function of the lymph is to circulate all over the body to kill the foreign invaders. Lymphatic system consists of lymph nodes where certain T cells and B cells reside. They are formed from cellular secretion which leak from the blood capillaries. And one beautiful thing is, unlike circulatory system, lymphatic system doesn't have a pump like heart. So the more we move our body, the more our lymphatic system gets energized. Now, how does Ayurveda understands immunity? A small comparison I would like to say. The comparison comes when the word oj we have always listened come into existence. These are the essence of sapta dhatus, and these are the essence of body tissues. What does oj do? It's a fine essence of dhatus or tissues. It provides strength, lubrication, and immunity. This is our safeguard against physical disease. It is the end product of various physiological process, and its color is whitish or sarpi varna. So we can find a wonderful correlation of lymph with oj, because there are some in samhitas the qualities of oj have been said, which is heavy, cold, soft, smooth, sweet, stable, pleasant, and sticky. All these qualities equally matches with lymph, and the function is equally matching with the lymphatic system. So this is a really matter of pride that since 3,000 years ago, since 5,000 years ago, the wonderful explanation when there was no MRI, when there was no CT scan, when there was no X-rays, this wonderful system was being correlated and comprehended. There are some government criteria that we are still following nowadays in our hospital. That is taking Chyawanprash 10 grams, like taking the herbal kadha, like taking the golden milk. But there are few things that I exclusively is trying to give to our patients is the T triad. This is Trikatu, TRIJATAKA, and TRIPHALA. These are the wonderful 3 T triad that has been experimented, and the patient has given wonderful results. TRIPHALA, as we know, is comprising of Amlaki, Tivitaki, and Haritaki. These three are antioxidants. These three makes wonderful rasayan as said in all the samhitas. And Amlaki has a rich vitamin C. Therefore, it is a potent antioxidant that we all know. Haritaki does Vata Nuloman. So this is a wonderful action. This gives a wonderful action in our intestines and clears all the residual Vata or Apan Vata in our body. Pibitaki, Amlaki, Haritaki makes a wonderful combination. Next comes another three combination of medicines, that is Sunthi, Pippali and Marich. These three again has been already said by government, but the combination that has been said in Shushrut Samhita, that these three has a wonderful effect in not only digestive system, but in respiratory system, but in hormonal disorders, but also in urinary system, in purifying the blood, and whatever there we need hot potency, this trigger-2 or 3 pungents comes into effect. TRIJATAK, these are not at all uncommon drugs because we always get these drugs in our kitchen. All these 3 drugs are being daily used in our cooking recipes as well as in the tea that we make, masala tea. This is as said by Sir. These 3 drugs have been always mentioned, always used, and randomly been selected for all the medicines. This is twak or darchini that we say, ela is elaichi, and patra is tej that we mix. It has
Yeah, go on, Sonali. You are audible.
yes. Okay, sir. I'm having some problem with the.
You please leave that presentation. You please continue with your talk.
Okay. So this is the 3 other drugs that I'm going to say is the 3 other drugs I'm going to say is drumstick. Drumstick has a wonderful effect in our body because it has tiktaras. It has always been given importance for its antiviral effect, antibacterial effect, and all those kind of infections that present in our body works beautifully with drumstick. Another drug is neem. Neem leaves are very important because it is not only for food, but we have seen neem leaves that has been presented in our houses. We have seen these neem leaves often. We have in our homes that has big trees of neem leaves, and these neem leaves we also eat with our food. There are a lot of medicines which we prepare with neem leaves. And with drumstick and neem leaves, there are a variety of combination of medicines that we often find. The last but not the least, I would like to say it's honey. Honey is also a very important drug. Maybe not, it is not available from the plants, but this also affects wonderfully for its decreasing of cough in our body, decreasing of cough and cold that is present in our body. And not only that, it helps in diabetes, it helps in obesity, and there are a lot of other disorders where we can easily use honey. So these are the simple drugs that we are always getting from our kitchen, we are always getting in the market. Other than that, government has initiated research on ashwagandha, government has initiated research on guruchi, on pippali, and there are a lot of medicines that government is working upon, and we are expecting a miraculous result from these initiatives so that in future we can put these medicines to our patients and make a good treatment. Next, yoga and pranayam is a wonderful part, I would like to say. in the PowerPoint, there was some yoga pictures. Also interventions that I said, that Guruchi, Yashtimadu, Ashwagandha and Kalme. Ayur 64 is another wonderful medicine that has been previously used in malaria and flu, and the formulation is Kutki, Chireta, Saptapanda and Kuberaksha. They are also been tried nowadays, and what we are hearing is this is also giving a good result for COVID-19. What others Ayurveda has to offer to us? Drinking warm water, that we all know. It is also mentioned in government rules that we have to repeatedly take and drink warm water. This helps in soothing the blood vessels, allows hydration. Swedana karma is another one important treatment aspect in Panchakarma, which helps in clearing the toxins of our body. These toxins also play a bad role, which if stays inside our body, will create a different kind of diseases. Localized is this one. Nasa, that sir said just now, that it is a wonderful treatment that if we put inside our nose, then helps in antibacterial effect. It clears the nasopharyngeal path, and it helps in strengthening our brain system as well. Dhupan or fumigation is a wonderful process that we all know is used in every families, due to which we get a wonderful sanitization in all our homes. It's not just about using hand sanitizers, but dhupan in our home can clear all the bacterial, all the fungal, all the infectious diseases, and it has been used since traditions. Few ingredients that I would like to share is gugul, ushir vacha, ral, limba, arka, and devdaru, loban, which not all if the drugs which are available right now, we can prepare dhupan and we can use in our homes. Yogasana, that I said that lymphatic systems can't be activated because it doesn't have a pump. So therefore, yogasana is the only mode where we can activate our body. These few yogasanas that I perform every day is Matsyasana variation. Another is Ekpada Kapotasana that I perform. Another is Veer Paramparasana. This is also wonderful yogasana which activates our lungs. It increases the vital capacity. This is Ekpada Brahmacharyasana, which is a balancing yoga, which helps in increasing the strength of our spine, our bone marrow, our legs. This is Purvatanasana. This is a wonderful yoga which helps to strengthen our chest muscles, which helps to increase the lung capacity. Uttanasana is also helping in increasing the lung capacity of our body. Pranayam. Amongst pranayam, Shinghakriya or Simhasana is the one which I perform every day, and this has a wonderful result. I have personally felt because the lung capacity has increased miraculously, and I can breathe a lot now. And I would suggest to everyone to practice this. I am unable to share the video, but in internet it is present. Thank you one and all for patience hearing. I'm extremely sorry for the small problem that it has happened. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you, Sonali, for your.
Dr. Kushwaha, I want to give one compliment to the young doctor. Very nice presentation, but nothing can be a best pump for the lymphatic system rather than Abhyang. Mind it, right. Abhyang is the best pump for and it is a daily pump.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sonali, very good presentation. Congratulations.
Yeah, Sonali has covered Dr. Raju's area of, like I had requested him to highlight on more, like Panchkarma part, because Dr. Raju Thomas is from Kerala and, like the best experienced person as far as Panchkarma is concerned. So now I invite Dr. Raju Thomas for his presentation. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Very much.
I am here representing Ayurveda Medical Association of India, an umbrella organization of qualified Ayurveda doctors based in Kerala. We have a membership of about 10,000 doctors working in the government sector as well as private, in the Ayurveda academies and industry, research, and in the central government sector. Now Dr. Diman and Dr. Dev Pujari had described the current scenario of the COVID-19 and the initiatives by Ayush Ministry and CCRS and so on. Dr. Sonali has covered almost all the areas very beautifully. And but I wish to mention a few points. First of all, on behalf of Ayurveda Medical Association of India, I congratulate Indian Chamber of Commerce and express our gratitude for arranging a platform to discuss the healthcare activities through Ayurveda, especially in the wake of COVID-19 outbreak. I think ICC is always appearing in the forefront of welfare activities. In the present situation, as the whole world is being affected, it is the need of the hour to go back to our roots. Our ancient forefathers had dealt with epidemics very effectively. We know that we are passing through an unprecedented grave situation. At present, there is no proved medicines in modern medical systems to prevent or treat viral diseases. Preventive measures such as hand washing, safe distancing, respiratory hygiene, and symptomatic treatment are the only options available. As such, it is high time that other medical systems are incorporated in the war against COVID-19. Ayurveda can be effectively used for preventive, cure, and rehabilitation of viral diseases. We are happy that the government of India and several state governments are using Ayurvedic treatment to combat the pandemic. Ministry of Ayush and CCRS is doing a good job. We highly appreciate the Ayush Ministry and the CCRS. It is learned that China had effectively used the traditional Chinese system of medicines to combat the COVID-19. As a result, it is learned that the symptoms disappearance time was shortened by 2 days, the length of hospital stay reduced by an average 2 days, and overall cure rate improved by 33% in the cases treated with the traditional Chinese medicines. Sir, 1 second. And according to Ayurveda, Vyadhishamata or immunity is the bella or strength of the body to fight against an infection, to prevent pathogenesis, as well as to conquer a developed disease. Vyadhishamata depends mainly on 2 things, that is Tridosha, that is the constitutional component of a person, and second on the Saptadhadus. Charagacharya defines 3 types of bala or immunity: Sahaja, Kalaja, and Yuktigrita. Sahaja bala means the constitutional strength and is gained through the genetic factors right from the formation of fetus. It depends on the healthiness of the sperm and ovum, and Ayurveda added a little more with the time and place of birth of the child. Second, the Karajabala is the immunity of life, such as a youth, favorable seasons, etc. Immunity acquired through proper diet, regimens, and exercises. We know that in COVID-19, the severely affected or diseased persons are mostly aged people, or those who are with the comorbidities or immunocompromised in some way or other. Ayurveda is the science of life which guides you for healthy, long, good quality life. It is very clear in describing the ways to acquire and maintain good health. Everything to be followed by a person in a day, right from awakening to the time of sleep, and diet and regimens are well described in Dinacharya. And for the seasonal climatic changes, it is topped up with the Ridhucharya. According to Ayurveda, Agni-mandya or impaired digestion is the root cause of all ailments. Ayurveda advises food patterns for a person considering the Jadarakni, Koshta and Prakriti of the person. Jadarakni, for general understanding, shall be considered as the digestive capacity. It is the quality and availability of the digestive juices, support of hormones, integrity of alimentary canal and conditions of the mouth. We know that our food habits and timings play a major role in the digestion and assimilation. Heavy and excessive intake of food should be avoided. Ahara itself is aushadha if it is taken properly. According to Acharyas, while taking food, only half the part should be filled with solid food, while the 1/4 should be filled with liquid and the 1/4 should be set free. Food must be taken only after complete digestion of the previous meal. That is, you take food only when you feel hungry. Thus, we can maintain a proper Agni or digestive power, which will in fact end up with a good immune system. Whenever we come to communicable diseases, according to Charaka Samhita, the reason for the same is the fixation of 4 factors, namely Jala, Vayu, Desham and Kalam. This will affect the entire population. We know that frequent touching of the body of the patient, inhaling its expired air, dining, sleeping or sitting together, sharing of dress and other personal objects, etc. are the sources of spreading the disease. In another prakarna, Acharya had emphasized our responsibility that we should not be a source of infection for other persons, so that we must cover our face during a burst of laugh, cough, or sneezing, and even loud speaking. Nowadays, we are following these instructions by social distancing, hand washing, by wearing the face masks, and all other kinds of lockdown. It is very amazing that the Ayurveda texts that were written thousands of years ago described all these things very beautifully. Ayurveda has a great treasure of knowledge and clinical wisdom to improve the innate immunity of the body without imparting any harm to the internal organs and the tissues. There are so many single drugs or combinations for this purpose. I think the word immunity boosting is highly misinterpreted nowadays. The drugs should be immunomodulatory, that is, drugs which either stimulates or control the immune response system, as the case may be, to keep natural homeostasis of our body. Or to be very simple, the medications used to help regulate normalize the immune system. I think it is the Samadosha or the Niramaya condition in Ayurvedic times. Immunomodulatory actions of drugs such as Indagandakritam, turmeric, Kiriyat, Guduchi, etc. have been revalidated through modern research methods. We know that as described earlier, Ayush Ministry has recommended some medicines and the procedures in the preventive aspects. Drinking of warm water, practicing yogasana, pranayama, extensive use of spices such as turmeric, jeera, dhanya, and garlic, etc. Herbal tea, nowadays we are highly promoting the use of herbal tea, golden milk, etc. Our Honorable Prime Minister himself is highly advocating the use of all these types of medicines. In Kerala, we have some traditional methods of simple medicines which are used to combat the viral diseases. Ajwain is traditionally used for preventing and curing communicable respiratory diseases and fever before the advent of modern medicines. holding 20 to 25 ml of warm decoction of ajwain and jaggery in the mouth for 8 to 10 minutes, and an intake of 50 ml of the decoction twice daily is very effective in fighting the infection. Taking the juice of mango ginger in an empty stomach is also found very useful. Taking yushams made of green gram or horse gram with the garlic is also used. We know that steam inhalation with the holy basil leaf, betel leaf, and the Kurka is the Karpura Valli. All these things are very effective in the diseases affecting the upper respiratory tract. We know that Kerala Ayurveda had proved its efficacy in controlling the communicable diseases like chikungunya, dengue fever, etc. during the recent outbreak in the recent past. And in Kerala, we are widely using the fumigation with the Aparajita Dhuma Churnam. It is very effective. It is established that the bacterial and the fungal loads are coming down with the fumigation of Aparajita Dhuma Churnam. And we are using this in the present condition also, even though the viral, whether it will affect the viral load is established or not. At present, we are using Aparajita Dhuma Churnam. And I think that the Nasya, as recommended by the Ministry of Ayush, is highly effective in preventing the infection. Nasya, or oil application to the nostrils, either with the coconut oil or sesame oil or anudaila, after proper inhalation is highly useful. Nasya can also be used as Pradimarsha Nasya with a small quantity without any expertise in doing the procedure, and shall be used continuous for the current time, especially for the current time. And sir, let me mention some points regarding our activities of Ayurveda Medical Association of India during this period of COVID-19. With the advent of pandemic COVID-19, the Ayurveda Medical Association of India has been deeply involved in the activities for the prevention of the pandemic for the past 3 months, and I would like to share few experiences with you. One of the most important or highly appreciated program conducted by us is the tele medicine or tele counseling project named Kude. Kude means it is a Malayalam word meaning with you. The involvement of Ayurveda in the prevention of COVID-19 opened up a variety of opportunities to use Ayurveda's advantages in ways very different from its traditional methods. As I mentioned, our most successful implementation in the COVID era was the project called Kude. As I said, it means with you. We are imparting counseling to those who are affected with this pandemic. Around 250 doctors who are specialized in psychiatry have been deployed to conduct this program. The program was organized by Ayurveda Medical Association of India, by Director PS Ayurveda College, Kottakkal, and the Indian System of Medicines Department of the Government of Kerala. Sir, the online counseling session were open to people who are in quarantine, the elderly people who are alone in the homes, whose children are abroad or in other states, the NRIs, the guest laborers, and those who are residing outside the state. We are very happy to know that our counseling session was of great help to the people, and we accomplished our goal to help and support them at this time, and for also the betterment of their mental state through online counseling. Till now, we had a combined counseling session of over 3 lakhs minutes. Still now, 3 lakh minutes of communication have been done through this project Kude. And this service is available in 15 languages, and people from 15 countries are participating, or they have taken advantage of this project. The government of Kerala was also impressed with our work and decided to acknowledge this work, and they are planning to include this in the official program the state, we are very happy, our association is very happy that the central government and the state government is giving a lot of support and included Ayush or Ayurveda treatments in the prevention, control, mitigation and rehabilitation of COVID-19. The Honorable Prime Minister and the Chief Minister of Kerala has taken a special interest in including Ayurveda in the fight against COVID-19. In Kerala, the Kerala government has started a 3-tier COVID-19 response cell, and they are operating it as Ayurveda clinics through around 1,300 institutions of the government of ISM department of the government of Kerala. The 3-tier system is the one state level response cell, one regional level response cell, and the district level cells. Under the district level cells and in attachment to the hospitals and dispensaries, Ayurveda task forces have been formed. The task forces include the LSD leaders, that means the local self-government, that means the Grama Panchayat or Jilla Panchayat members, Ayurveda doctors, and the students of the area. Around 1,000 doctors, including private and the government sector employees, are engaged in this program. This program is mainly divided as one is Swasthya. It is a program for people under 65 years of age. It teaches how to live a healthy life through Ayurvedic Swasthavrata, Ayurvedic food regimes, and so on. Special care and medications and preventive medicines for the health workers are provided through this program. The second one is the Sukha-Ayushyam. It is a program directed towards the for the special care and medication of people above 65 years of age. And the third one is the program named as Punarjani. It is for the rehabilitation of the patients after treatment. These 3 projects are operating under the banner of Ayurveda clinics and is operating through the Indian System of Medicines department. And sir, we have an innovative idea or a new project have been introduced by us. It is an medicine coated mask. Basil leaf and panikurka, that is the karpura valli. They are the ingredients, and the decoction is applied on the thread itself. This mask is manufactured by hand-woven khadi thread, and no preservatives or added binders are used for this manufacturing this mask. So that is very useful to use and very easy to use without any disturbances. And we think it is in a primary method. The concept of Ayur mask, that is mask with the medication, Ayurvedic medication, will be a very supportive factor in the current scenario. But we should mention that this is not against or not against this N95 or surgical mask. It is only a 2-layered cotton mask.
So you have to conclude.
And,
Yeah?
Sir?
You have to conclude quickly, because yeah, we have one more speaker and only 20 minutes
Yes,
left.
sir. Yes. And now I am concluding. The situation is very grave, and according to WHO and experts worldwide, it is learned that the virus is going to be there for a long time, as it seems. We have to accept the presence of this virus in the society, just like the HIV viruses. The only chance is to change our lifestyle, follow Ayurveda principles in life. Let us follow the Dinacharya, Rudacharya, Shodhana therapies, and Rasayana Chikitsa and Sattvrta, so that our body will not be a platform for any of the pathogens or infections. Ayurveda has answers for all these problems. But for all these things, we should consult an Ayurveda physician so that he can help you. Such a lifestyle requires a conscious effort, and it would not be that difficult when it costs our health and or even life. Let me remain. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Raju Thomas. Now our next speaker, Mr. Peter van Stralen from Netherlands. Peter is a Ayurvedic consultant and he's a shaman healer, and he runs a company called as Ayurveda Business Alliance in Netherlands. And he is working on a very unique project in France, which will comprise a clinical trial center and a clinical research center, uh, education center, therapy center, recreation center, and other things. So, welcome, Peter, and yeah, share your views, especially on diet and lifestyle according to Ayurveda. Welcome.
Namaskar, everybody. My name is Peter. Thank you for the introduction, Dr. Vijay. And I like to thank the organization for giving me the time to express my opinion about the subject at hand, which is the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, first of all, I like to state something, and that is that every person is responsible for his own health. Not the government, not the doctor, not your spouse, but solely yourself. That's the first thing. Today we are facing an attack of an unseen enemy, as some call it. And some believe it's justice for how we treat Mother Nature, and we cannot avoid it. Others believe that it is developed by multinationals to create an opportunity to be the owner of the next economy. Whatever it is, whatever the reasons, the fact is that the coronavirus is threatening our lives. So what to do? To answer that question, I would like to share my thoughts on the real threat of the COVID-19 pandemic. For that, I like to recognize three issues. The coronavirus itself as a threat to our physical health, destruction of the body leading to death. There's also the COVID-19 pandemic, as we call it. But to be quite honest, we most of all avoided that. Still, it's a threat, but it did not become really a pandemic. We have the pandemic restrictions that we are living through. Now that, to me, is the real pandemic, because everybody in the world right now is facing the restrictions, staying at home, no business, not going to work. Can't be avoided at all. It affects everybody. It is destructive to the mental health. It's destructive to the ego. It's draining energy, therefore, and undermining our immune system. So I like to recognize that, because instead of looking at the physical attack of a virus that is pretty much stopped at its track by the social distancing and all the other restrictions that we have put in place, we are actually facing a very destructive pandemic, being the restrictions. So when we look at how we treat a virus, the threat of a virus, we really have to look at the threat of the restrictions. Without losing track, I like to take one step further. Responsibility for the current situation that we are all in. There's the government with restrictions, enforcement, penalties. I hear people about that continuously. They want to get out of it. They want it to stop. They want to continue with the life as it was. We have the medical responsibility, which is advice, which is treatments, which is finding a vaccine, which is an advice to the government. And based on the government, they will actually have their policy. Then there is the media, presenting facts and truth. At least that's what we hope. But how able are we actually to see what the truth is and what the facts are? there is so much going on that is influencing our brain and our mental capacity right now based on false facts or false information, false truth. It's very hard for us to actually make a difference in the information that we get. So you have responsibility, responsibility, and responsibility. It's constantly the ability to respond. It's the ability of the government to respond to what's happening right now. It's the ability of the medical association to respond correctly to whatever they face, to respond in terms of how many beds are available, how many, no vaccine. So how do we respond to something that is unknown? There's the ability of the media not being informed correctly, or the need of being important to their audience that will just produce whatever it is that will attract that audience. You need to understand your own responsibility as a part of the whole in terms of action and expression. How do you enhance that ability? How do you enhance your ability to react correctly in society, and first of all to your family members, because you're pretty much locked into your home situation? So how do you enhance that ability to react and express yourself in that environment, but also as a whole, as the community? Or maybe even now that it's online and it's global, how do you actually act responsibly online? Because your action will cause a reaction. You also need to understand the responsibility for your own health in terms of physical and mental, but also spiritual. So how do we enhance that ability? And what is the need for that ability to respond correctly to our own health? If you want to realize good health, you need to understand what you are and who you are, not in terms of I'm Peter and I'm a man, but you need to understand that you are a person, that you are not just a person in this world, but a world in a person. So the world as you see it, as you experience it, is entirely created within us. It is entirely our doing. There are no pictures out there. There is no voice or no music out there. It's purely energy and its wavelengths that's coming at us. And as soon as it enters us, it will actually create the images, the voices, and the music. It is entirely made by ourselves. Our brain creates what we see and experience. It's important to understand that. The world coming through our senses. And now the question arises, how able are you to respond? How able are you to actually store whatever comes through your senses into your system? Are you cluttering your system? Are you keeping it clean? Are you clearly see what is, or are you still looking at what you believe it is? So, what do we do to optimize our ability? How do you optimize your ability to respond to government, to media feeds, what's coming at you, to peer pressure? But more important, how can you optimize your ability to handle your own thoughts, your ego, your fears, your anxiety, etc.? And above all, phytoviruses and bacteria. Whoa, sorry about that. There are three elements. I clearly have my presentation in front of me, pasted to my screen that's behind the computer. So we have to look at mind, body, and spirit when it comes to handling ourselves. The mind, and it's already expressed, meditation is a huge part of it. Because meditation is not so much to be quiet and learn to be quiet and still, which is very important for our spirit to be still. But meditation is merely there to be increasing your ability to handle your thoughts, to manage your thoughts, thoughts, as you know, is a part of our brain, and our brain is consuming a tremendous amount of energy. So the more troubles we have, the more worries we have, the more problems of handling our system inside, the more energy it will take for our brain to actually handle that. So meditation is helping us to manage our thoughts. For our mind, there is something else we can do. It's exercise, actually, for our brain. Or it's learning new things. Pick up an instrument, play games with the kids or with the spouse at home. Exercise your brain so there comes pleasure and you experience achievement, which is causing pleasure too. There is yoga, and Dr. Sonali already told us a couple of things about that. There is yoga, there's hand yoga as the mudras, which will actually help us to manage our energy levels for the chakras, but also for the organs related to that. So yoga is a very good thing. It should be a part of our daily regime. For the body, of course, we have food and food intake. And then we have, when do you eat your food? Do you eat your heavy meal late at night, which is causing a lot of trouble because you don't have your Agni supporting that food digestion as it should. So heavy meals, big meals during your midday, during your Pitta time, where you have your Agni to support the digestion and where it actually can support your system. So it's not just eating, it's feeding yourself. There is a question in the question and answer I noticed that is related to the non-vegetarian foods. So you eat meat or fish or poultry, or for me it's all meat. Now, how does that affect us? First of all, you have to realize that with that kind of food, you do not only eat a substance like muscles or other tissue from the animal, you also eat the animal. So when you eat an animal like a chicken, you eat that energy of the chicken. If you eat an animal like a pig, you take that energy of the pig in you as well. So it takes a lot of energy to digest heavy meals, not just meats, also raw food. It takes a lot of energy to digest it. So if you have a desire, if you need to eat meat, then at least do it once in 3 days or 4 days. So it has a proper time to fully digest, and realize that digesting that kind of food takes time. And you do not want to introduce food when there is still food in your system that needs to be digested. It's trying to make a soup, and every 10 minutes you add something else. It will never be done. So allow that food to be digested. And it takes a long time for non-vegetarian food. So realize the energy that you take, and if you want that, if it supports you or not. Don't expect that if you eat lazy food or from a lazy animal, that you get fully energetic. In the early days, the warriors would eat tiger meat to become more, powerful and get the job done. So eat that what you need. Listen to the body, listen to your system, what it is that suits you and nourish your body and your mind and your spirit. So no conflicting spirits through your food if you want to keep your own spirit up and be in a good mood. So that is related to the non-vegetarian. If you do it once in 3-4 days, and do it in your midday, not late at night. There are clearly some food rules that everybody is aware of. I assume that I talk to doctors, I assume I talk to students, and they know all this better than I do. So you have your 8 rules for food. This is also including, how do you prepare your food? Where does your food come from? Is it pre-cut from a supermarket, or is it actually coming from your farmers? Healthy food, bio food. Who's preparing that food, and how is it prepared? Now, this might not be so important when you look at it at first, but when you think about it and you look at your home situation where you are all jammed in the little space where you might get cranky, this crankiness gets into your food too. So make sure you have a happy heart and a happy mind, a happy spirit when you prepare your foods. Eat together and be happy when you eat together, because it will help your digestive systems. So this is related to your food intake. For your spirit, be still.
So you have
Try
to
to be.
conclude. In 5 minutes, you have to conclude.
Yes. I'm almost done. So be still, be kind, be loving to the people around you. Be grateful for what is and not angry about what is not, because this is the situation you are in. So the only thing you can handle is yourself. The only thing you can manage is your own mind and your own system. So be grateful for what you have. Be proud of your achievements of that day. In other words, set goals, make achievements for that day in the morning, and be happy about that. And they need to be doable, of course. Be happy about it when you achieve them at the end of the day. Now, this is a circle, because a happy spirit creates a happy mind, and a happy mind actually doesn't drain your immune system and your energy, which is good for the body. So it's a circle that you need to keep happy. Now, I think this concludes my presentation, Dr. Vijay. I was very happy that other doctors already covered, like Dr. Diman, with the food intake and when to do it, and also with your daily chores. Dr. Sonali with covering that part of yoga. I like to add one more thing. Start your day in a good way. Take an early morning walk. Go outside in nature. Nature has its own pace. It's its own energy. It has its own rhythm. As soon as you enter nature, that nature will take your rhythm, your pace, your energy level to what it needs to be. It will lower anxiety. It's a very good day, a very good way to start your day. So let this be my contribution to all the awesome things that I've heard from the other doctors. And again, thank you very much for having me to be a part of this.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. Now, the question answer session. So there is a question from the audience participants. They want to have confirmation from this question is for Dhiman sir, because they want to have the person wants to verify about the authenticity about the social media circulation about 6,000 patients tried with Ayush things, 4,500 with Ayurvedic, and 1,600 patients with homeopathy. Quarantine patients, and their results were positive, like they're in the circulation.
So, this a social intervention, mass intervention was done by government of Gujarat.
Right.
Government of Gujarat, and they found that in whomsoever population they intervened, none of the patients got COVID positive, and that was their secretary's viewpoint in the presentation in a webinar. So that was there.
Yeah. Okay. So Sudhir, I hope you have got your answer of your question. And there was a question about veg and non-veg food regarding immunity, which Peter has already covered it. And
I want to add to some point to this point of Dr. Peter. It does not mean that Ayurveda does not propose or propagate non-vegetarian diet.
Correct.
But which meat, which mutton, or which non-veg should be taken? This is very much specified. Number one, the way of eating and way of cooking is very different. Dr. Peter, wheresoever the non-veg is indicated for taking, that is always in the form of soup. This is mas yush, mas rasa. It is not the only cooked or boiled or fried this mutton pieces are to be eaten. So this is bad. Otherwise, if someone is taking soup form or yush form, what is written in our literature, it is no way harmful. It's rather best for the body itself. So this difference we must understand. Ayurveda propagates, Ayurveda advocates that non-vegetarian things can also be taken, but they are specified. It's not that bad should be eaten. So these are prohibited animals and words which should not be eaten at all. So that point should be taken into consideration. Thank you for giving time, Dr. Kushwaha.
Thank you.
Sir, there is a question, Dr. Depujari sir. There is a question from one of our participants, Pratik. He's asking effective food habits that will help increasing immunity.
The very simple answer is Hita Ahara and Mita Ahara. These are the two things. Very simple and very precise. But the thing is, today again, due to our lifestyle, our priorities are different. We are running after money. Actually, we should run after our stomach. So we are eating whatever we want. We are not following any rules. So first we should fix our time for our food, which is mentioned in Ayurvedic text. Then the type of food which we are taking. Then Paryushitanna we should avoid. And the proportion is given actually. Half of the stomach is for food, and 1/4 for water, and remaining 1/4 for our air. So these small things if we follow, then it will surely increase our immunity. And now whole world is running after this gut microbiota, which is very important, and it is related to our food. So what to eat and what not to eat differs with the region. But yes, these two things, Hitashisya, yes, you can follow.
Very, very precise answer, Dr. Depujari. Thank you very much. But regional and seasonal foods should be given priority. I want to add with your permission. With your permission. Sorry, huh? Regional and
Sure,
seasonal.
sir. Regional and seasonal. Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, like one interesting thing, because like ICC headquarters is in Calcutta, and out of like the herbs which are considered in sak work in Ayurveda, like there was a time when all those 50 saks, the phrase herbs were used in Bengali kitchen. Still they use, as Sonali covered in our presentation, like neem leaves are very much used still today. In the childhood, there is a practice. I think the Bengali name is Thankuni, Sonali, for Brahmi.
Thankuni that we say.
Yeah, Thankuni, and then Kulekhara.
Yes, sir.
That is YOGASANA. And yeah, so many. Yeah, so Bengal was very rich, and even
now we intake these foods, but in Varsha Ritu we generally avoid shag varga, but otherwise in all seasons we are used to take probably every day. And if there are some people who can take the entire meal with the neem leaves, but there are still people existing. Other menu, if there is there, they'll not take, they'll just eat with the neem leaves.
Season wise and region wise, that is most correct.
So that is the best thing for the spring season. If someone consumes this leaves shark of neem in spring season, it's the best for his health.
Yeah. So it was a pleasure, like gathering of hours, and 1.5 hours is not enough to like cover Ayurvedic subjects. It's a very vast knowledge. I hope ICC will again give us some opportunity, and I strongly believe that change can happen only through education. So bodies like chambers and bodies like ICC should introduce some introductory courses, like for general public or whoever is interested, and through education, because like Ayurveda is not like today is one pandemic, so we go like we run for a vaccine and then again we run for a vaccine. So like like we it's like we make a building which is uh, like
Fit for all seasons. Fit for
all
all seasons.
it is fit for all seasons. Yeah, yeah, and like it is made with RCC and all proofing is there, and for that like we should because we should follow our swasthasya swasthya rakshanam principle. So Dincharya and Ritucharya has to be taught, like we should make some program that, we reach to the masses, educate them through audiovisuals, through nukkad nataks and other things about Dincharya and Ritucharyas. And the most important thing which we have forgotten, we have forgotten all sanskaras, Annaprasan to Karnavedhan and all those sanskars, which have scientific backing for immunity and other things. Like Swarnaprasan is now, at least in Maharashtra, Karnataka and other places, mostly all Vaidyas are doing it. And this is my request for our Ayurvedic community, that let us propagate that molecular medicine is our invention, this invention of our rishis. Otherwise modern people will take that also and they will name it as a molecular medicine and propagate their own thing. So all this Swarna Yoga, Swarna Prasa and another thing, they are proven, they have got molecular, they work on molecular level. So it is a molecular medicine which is very effective. And let us educate people, let us start practicing that. We have common herbs like tulsi and other herbs in our kitchen yard, in our society, wherever in our office complex, wherever we have a piece of land, we should start like having all these japa and all this traditionally which were there, like all these banana and all those things. Durva, Punarnava is still very like it's easily available in Bengal. So not in other parts, but in Bengal, Bihar, Northeast, I have seen that people have all this. So let us propagate that. So that is there, and mantra mani and also mani mantra and Ausadi. Ausadi, we are commercial. I'm also part of a commercial organization, so we are doing that Ausadi part. But to have the effect of mantras, and we should have daily havan as part of our daily life, and then sandhya, daily sandhya, evening prayers, to have the effect of mantras. And that will bring positivity, and that will remove all stress related issues, which is one of the biggest reason for almost like all the diseases. Nowadays we have maximum diseases because of immunity and Ritucharya, and following basic principles of Ayurveda, promoting Ayurveda will make a happy and healthy society, a happy and healthy state, and happy and healthy India. So time is over. So to conclude our session, with the permission of everybody, I'll share a few lines in Hindi, like which I have written during my college days. पीड़ित है जनमानस सारा, पीड़ित जगत ये सारा है। पीड़ित है जनमानस सारा, पीड़ित जगत ये सारा है। आयुर्वेद हमारा था ये, आयुर्वेद हमारा है। आयुर्वेद हमारा था ये, आयुर्वेद हमारा है। आयुर्वेद अमृत से सींचकर स्वस्थ विश्व बनाना है। आयुर्वेद अमृत से सींचकर स्वस्थ विश्व बनाना है। आयुर्वेद जन जन का हो, आयुर्वेद जन जन का हो, ऐसा विश्व बनाना है। आयुर्वेद अमृत से सींचकर स्वस्थ विश्व बनाना है। Friends, thank you very much. Deman sir, Dev Pujari sir.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
to
you very much,
everybody.
Pushpaji.
Thank you, Dr. Peter. Thank you, Sonali.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Vijayji,
Thank you all. And thank you, ICC, for this wonderful opportunity to meet such a wonderful people. And I am really blessed that such important personalities today I have come to meet with everyone. And probably this won't be possible if there is no webinar in today's date. If for the webinar only, we would have.
There is no difference between you and us. Few of us, they don't have hairs and few have gray hairs. That is only the difference.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving an
Thank
opportunity
you.
to participate.
Sonali is the youngest among us, and
Yes.
Sonali, you know, like my request, because I have worked a lot, I have spent a lot of my professional time in East and Northeast. You know, like Ayurveda is much needed there, and it was your treasure. Okay, it was your treasure. So there is more responsibility on you in Maharashtra. Like, you know, we are proud Ayurvedic practitioners. We, you know, like there is a very good scope for Ayurvedic practice, very good respect for Ayurveda here. But for East and Northeast, we have to do that. And I hope ICC will give us this platform online or like, you know, offline also to promote Ayurveda. And we all will keep in touch and let us work together to create a happy and healthy society.
Absolutely, sir.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste. Dev Pujari ji, namaskar.
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 Namaskar.